Thank you.
Help yourself to milk.
I will.
Thank you very much.
Sugar?
Nope, not for me, thanks.
Quite well. Thank you very much for joining me for tea with the HC.
Well, it's lovely to have you here in my lovely garden,
Yes.
and to share a cup of tea, that classic drink that we just drink far too much of in the UK.
In the UK, and
Yeah.
you'd still be surprised how many people still drink so much tea in this heat in Botswana.
Yes.
So I just thought it would be a nice way of bridging the cultures. For the people who don't know you, please tell us who you are and what your job is.
So I am Katy Ransome. I am the British High Commissioner here in Botswana. I have been here since February 2016. And as the High Commissioner, I am responsible for relationships between UK and Botswana. So I am sent here by Her Majesty the Queen to represent the UK here in Botswana, to understand the country I'm working in, to work with Botswana to help deliver our mutual objectives.
That's wonderful. Now, how does one get into your position?
So it's taken many years. So I've been in the diplomatic service for just over 20 years now. And so I've had a range of different jobs at different grades. And like everyone else, I've worked my way up through the various different jobs and gained lots of different experience. I've worked in a number of different countries. So I've worked in Hungary, Spain, Afghanistan, Madagascar, Kenya, Somalia, and now here in Botswana. So as you go around these different jobs, you do different areas of work. So I worked on security policy, I've worked on human rights, I've worked in finance, I've done political work, press work, and as you go through, you build up this wonderful portfolio of experience, but also you have these great experiences living in other countries, learning about different cultures, meeting lots of fabulous people, really interesting, exciting people from all around the world. And then at a point you say, I want to be in charge, I want to lead, and you step into that role and say, this is my time to be the leader.
And as part of the diplomatic corps, how many women are there that you know of? Are you all sort of a club, or is it just you see each other when you see the high commissioners?
Here?
No, I mean in terms of high commissioners around the world.
High commissioners around the world. So the UK has quite a few female high commissioners and ambassadors, and we get together. We all get together annually once a year in London, and we have a leadership conference. And whilst we focus with everyone else on all of the issues, we do sometimes we talk about how we want to encourage more women to be the high commissioners and the ambassadors. So we do spend some time back to make sure we get more women into those roles. Slightly underrepresented in terms of those high commissioner ambassador roles, but it's definitely changing. It's improving year on year. We're getting more women into roles across the region, across the world. And actually in this part of Africa, for the UK, we have female high commissioners ambassadors in Namibia, Zimbabwe, Malawi and Mozambique, and obviously I'm here. So there's a lot of women in charge across Southern Africa.
So what are your impressions of Botswana?
So I am really enjoying being in Botswana. I'd done my reading and preparation before I came out, but it's quite different to be here. And some of the things I love the sun. Coming from the UK, we always love the sun. But I love also the sense of space that there is in Botswana. It's a huge country, and just being able to get out and about and see this fabulous country. But what I love also, I just love people in this country. Everyone is so friendly. Everyone is incredibly helpful. Everyone is very interested in what you're doing. And particularly young people here are incredibly inspirational. We do quite a lot of engagement with young people, and I'm always just massively impressed by how people are both working or trying very hard to find jobs and doing study and maybe setting up a business and doing something on giving back to their community, and everybody keeps themselves incredibly busy. And I particularly that giving back to the community bit I find is just very, very it's something it's very admirable policy that I see across young people in Botswana, and I think that's something very special, and I hope that's something that stays with people of Botswana going forward, because it's really important that we all work for our communities as well as for ourselves. So that's something I particularly enjoy in Botswana.
And you were talking about young people and getting them involved. How do young people get involved with the work of the High Commission?
So we have a number of things that we do. We have our fabulous Chevening scholars who are just as such fantastic ambassadors and a great credit for Botswana. So that's one of the kind of most concrete ways. So each year we have 6 or 7, sometimes a few more students going to the UK to have that wonderful experience of studying in the UK and learning about the UK. But we've also been working with young people through partners on eye health projects. We've worked with young people on do some career coaching with some young women. We're always looking at ways of engaging young people through British Council and their soccer skills project, where they do both life skills and soccer skills for particularly quite young kids. We also work with the British Council on some education projects. But we're always keen to do more. We're always keen. We don't necessarily have all the kind of answers and ideas of what might be useful for young people here, so we're always keen to hear from young people about areas of work they think we should be getting involved in. So very open for listening as well, so what people think we should be doing.
Yes, oh, that's wonderful. Now, if we were to talk, we're at the time of the year where we're commemorating or observing the 16 days of activism against women, against violence against women and children. And it was just recently stated by the president that, as we talk about violence, and especially violence in intimate partner relationships, we shouldn't just focus it solely on the heteronormative, heterosexualized view, which is quite a shift that we're seeing happen in Botswana, and also considering the fact that we still do have these legal complications, but which aren't really that easy to sift through for the general Botswana. When we observe these 16 days, for you, what should we really be putting at the front of how we start dealing with violence against women and children?
So for me, well, first of all, I would say I thought it was very important what the president said, and I thought it was very it is very impressive to hear somebody stand up and say that, both about same-sex relationships and also for women and children broadly. So I thought that was a very important speech. We just have to get the message across that violence is wrong. It is wrong in the street, it is wrong in the home, it is wrong in relationships. It is not something that is acceptable. There is no time when it is right to strike someone or put someone under emotional, physical, subject to emotional, physical violence or attack. And working through why that is happening is something that is incumbent on all of us to do. First of all, we have to work on ourselves. We are all part of this. We are all responsible, whether it is something that we find ourselves doing or we see happening to people that we know and love. We have a role to play in this, but also more broadly society, we need to be sending very clear messages that this kind of behaviour is unacceptable, and then providing, and there's quite a lot of talk about providing services for people to help work through those issues and what happened. But it is just a simple message that this kind of violence is unacceptable in a society, and we must root out the reasons for it, understand the reasons for it, and deal with it, because none of us should be in fear in our homes or in our workplaces or in our communities.
Well, thank you so much for that. Let's play a little bit of a trivia game.
Okay.
What is the national animal of Botswana?
It is a zebra.
Is a zebra white with black stripes or black with white stripes?
So I read somewhere recently that apparently it is now being proven that it's black with white stripes.
Oh, cool.
Yes, but I think, you know what? I like the fact that it can be both.
Cuisine-wise, we have differences between Botswana and England, but we've got tea and bread, of course. Yeah. What's your favourite kind of bread from Botswana that you've had?
So I'm not actually a really big bread eater. So I trying to actually think if I've had Botswana bread. I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm not sure that I've had anything that's that different to something that I would have had at home. So I haven't had anything that's specifically Botswana. You need to bring some.
I'll be sure to
you need to bake.
Get you
need
some.
to go bake.
It's not a skill I'm good at, but I'll work on it for you.
Okay.
Sehwapa or seswa? So biltong or pounded beef?
I think it depends. It depends. I have to admit, it's quite nice when you're flying on the plane that they give you a bit of biltong. That's quite nice. And seswa, when it's done well, is really, really fantastic. Yeah. So when you get one with some lovely flavour in it, and it's just been lovingly prepared, and you can sort of see that love in it, then you know that you're getting a great dish.
And what's your favourite meal? I'm guessing, having been here for a while now, you've eaten your fair share of selections of Setswana cuisine. If you were to put together a dish, what would your dish be?
I mean, the beef here is lovely. I mean, everyone knows that Botswana beef is fabulous, and it's that I have eaten enough of it to know that this is completely true. I also love spinach, so I love the dishes that you make with spinach, and I'm a big beetroot fan as well. So I'm kind of covered in Botswana. I love having that. So when I go to sort of events and we have, you've definitely got your seswa and you've got your beetroot, you've got your spinach. I'm sorted. I'm a happy person.
Christmas dinner. British or Setswana?
So here's the thing about that. I think Christmas is a time for both trying some new things and having some of your own traditions. So a large part of Christmas is about the traditions that you create with your family. I'm away from my family, so sometimes, so one of the ways of connecting with my family is to do some of the traditional things. So I will probably have a little bit of mix of things, but so I don't feel obliged to have, for example, sort of a roast turkey or anything like that. I can certainly more than happily have a nice bit of Botswana beef, but I'll certainly have hunt down those Brussels sprouts and look for some nice roast potatoes and try and have something that's got some connection with what I know family will be having in different places. Of course, the difference here is that it can be incredibly hot. So in the UK, it's never really that cold at Christmas, but you can have a great big meal and you don't mind preparing it here when it can be very high temperatures. I don't want to be spending too much time in the kitchen. I will melt. So I'll definitely have salads and other things as well for Christmas, just because I know it will be hot here.
And finally, to close us off, if you were to do a trade-off, so take something from here, we're not counting beef.
Okay.
Because I know you definitely take the beef.
Yeah.
If you take something from Botswana and have that be your ambassadorial gift to the UK and bring something from the UK here, what would your trade-off be?
So,
and why?
There might be more than one thing to take from here. I want to take the sun, please. Can we have the sun? Just for a little bit of the year, not the whole, but maybe we could particularly take some of this hot sun and take a little bit to the UK. That would be perfect. So we reduce the temperature here and increase the temperature there. But I would take the positivity and the community spirit and the respect that you have in Botswana. Those are things that I would definitely take. And then I would bring over lots of people to help in investment and create opportunities for young people. That's what I'd like to bring over from the UK. And it's things that we are working on, but that sort of people setting up business, employing people, helping people set up their own businesses, helping young people really achieve their ambitions and dreams. That's what I would like to bring from the UK.
Great. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and enjoy your tea.
Thank you. Will do.
Cheers.
Cheers.